Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today I'm going to show you how to play EGO, which is the Extraterrestrial Greeting Organization. It's going to be published by Bitewing Games, and it's going to be designed by Reiner Knizia, one of my favorite designers. In this game, you're going to be trying to manage your hand of cards there. You're going to try to go through different auctions, and you're going to go through all different types of events and have to make meaningful decisions on which resources you're going to give up and how much you're going to bid. Let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to show you how to play EGO. All right, so this is EGO, Extraterrestrial Greetings Organization. This game here is going to be created by Reiner Knizia, which is one of my favorite designers. And this game is definitely a hand management bidding game here, where you're going to be going over these different locations, and you're going to be trying to gain cards, spend cards, gain these very valuable points by the end of the game. And you're going to get to be able to go down to this rival zone here and dump some of your stuff for extra points and getting rid of these alien annoyances, which are negative points at the end of the game. So setup for the game is really simple. You're going to put out your credit tokens, so the pile of credit tokens here. You're going to place out the offense tokens, and these here are the success tokens. So your success tokens are your points for the game. And also you're going to set up this bag here. Now this bag is going to have these tokens in it. And the tokens here are either the success or the currency here. And they all have this back to them. So all the ones with the back here, you're going to throw in this bag and give it a good shake. And then you're going to place out these planetary boards, and there's actually going to be 6 boards, but you're in the base game, you're only going to be playing with 5 of them. And it always has the solar system one here as the start one, and the final one as the arrival. These 3 you're going to randomly place in, so they're different each time, and the extra 4th board you're going to put out of the game. You will also not use these board extensions, and these board extensions here will give you a longer game, and they give you extra 2 actions per board there, and they're pretty cool. So after you get the base game down, you can add these in here and get even more replayability. And the game also has 1 expansion that you can pick up from Bitewing's website. The other things you're going to do for setup is you're going to put out these bidding pieces and the player pieces here. And then you're also, for each player, is going to get a player aid here. So they're going to show you what these symbols mean. And on the back here, they're going to show you the reckoning. So that's going to be how many points you can lose for having these alien annoyance cards here at the end. So you're trying not to have them and try to get rid of them throughout the game. And sometimes you'll pick them up strategically and then get rid of them later, but that's part of the strategy in the game. Then you're going to pick someone who is going to be the leader, and this gets changed potentially at the different auctions in the game, and they're going to get this one. And then finally, you're going to take this incredibly cool miniature here. You're going to place it in the solar system. You're going to do that in a second. And lastly, you're going to take these cards here, which this is going to be the deck of power cards. So you can gain these in the game here to get one-time bonuses or super powerful cards in your hand. But you're going to shuffle this up and place 5 out. And you'll also then finally shuffle this deck of cards here. And that's it. That's the setup. Now, getting into the game, you're always going to start at this arrival location. And once you start at the arrival location, you're going to look at what you need to do. So this arrival location basically tells you that every player is going to get 5 cards to start the game with. So you deal out 5 cards to each player. In addition to that, each player is going to get a token out of this bag. And like I said before, when you go into this bag, you're either going to get points or you're going to get credits. But either way, you're going to place them face down so no one can see them. And you can spend the credits in the game if you wish. Of course, flip them up and then use them. So I have my hands of cards here. In the deck here, there's 4 suits, of which you see 3. Let me see if I can get a couple more here to show you. You also have this purple suit. But then you also have, let me grab one here, a wild suit, which is these right here that are any symbol that you want. And that becomes very important later on in the game. So you're going to then, so everyone simultaneously drew their 5 cards, and then they also got their token out of the bag. After that happens, you're going to go and move the ship to the next location. Now, everyone's going to simultaneously do these actions, and we're going to keep moving through the solar system until we get to the final board here. And at the final board, I'm going to explain what some of these mean in a second. We're going to be able to slough off some of these things that we have to gain points. Like we can spend points here to get rid of annoyance tokens. We're going to have a final auction right here, and then we can be able to convert some of these tokens that we have into points before we end the game here. And that's going to be how it flows. But next time we go to this next location, and this is a select location. So this location here is going to let you discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards if you like. So you're going to take a look at your cards, and I'm going to say, okay, well, this is a pretty powerful cards, because most of the time we're looking at the symbols here. And there's 2 different types of auctions we're going to go over in a second. But this auction coming up has these 2 symbols. So out of these cards here, I have 1 that can do it. But these 2 are pretty powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these 2 cards. And I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. Now everyone's going to be, oh, that didn't help me out too much. But everyone's going to do the same thing here. All right. After that, then we're going to go to the next location. In the next location, we can take a risk. So what that means is everyone can simultaneously decide to do this, and we can take a risk. And when we take a risk, we're going to draw the number of cards that it shows on the top, and we're looking for these 2 symbols to appear. So I'll flip this over, and these wilds do count. So I'll be able to gain these 2 wilds, and I gain this card. But, well, no, I have a card that doesn't match. So I can't get this card, and I will get a annoyance token for that card there. Now, when I draw this, if I drew all cards that didn't match, nothing happens. If I need to draw at least a card here that matches in it so it can go into my hand. So that's the risk. I can get some annoyance tokens for this, but I got 3 cards, which really is going to help me out because cards are one of the tightest resources in the game. And then after we go to this location, we can come down here. And in this location, we have prepare. So what prepare is going to do is we're going to place out 4 cards. And starting with the leader, they're going to take a card. So I'm the leader, I'm going to take the wild. Then everyone else is going to get a card. And that's going to be how that one works. And then finally, we're going to go to one of the 2 bidding type locations over there. And we are going to bid. So it's going to start with the leader, and the leader can go through their hand, and they can pick one. So let's say I want to win this because on here you have some really good effects, and then you have some really bad ones. Like I can even get a player power up there. And these player powers are really cool. Some of them give you a one-time benefit. So if I grab this, I'm going to get 3 tokens out of that bag, or straight up 5 points. Some of them, like this, is going to be able to go into my hand when I get it, and I can use it in a future date. And this here is 3 of that icon. And then here I have take 1 supply at any time. At any time you may take 1 supply of the depicted supply. So that's going to be cool. It'll be a nice benefit that I can have hanging around and take it when I need it. So the power cards are really cool. Here's going to give me currency, and it's going to give me point chip. I'm going to get 2 things out of the bag with this one. I'm going to get a power card and 5 points, which is really awesome. Or I get an annoyance token. So if you pass, you're going to get one of these here based on where you're standing on that. And then if not, let's say I'm not going to pass. I'm going to play this one. I'm going to put 2 down. So we only care about the symbols. So I have 2 symbols here, and that's what I place down. The other player is going to need to meet or exceed that. So we'll just pretend there's 2 players. This player met it. Now it comes back to me. I need to either pass or exceed it. I do have a third option though. I could take a risk. And if I take a risk, I flip 2 cards, and if I have either of those symbols on there, I get that card into my hand. If neither of the cards have the symbols, or either way, if any of the cards don't have symbols on it, I will get an annoyance token for each. So unlike the risk one, if both of them don't, I still get 2 annoyance tokens. If one of them does, though, I get to place that one out as my bid. Sorry, not into my hand, as my bid. But if neither of them do, I'll get my annoyance tokens, but I also get knocked out of the bid. So I will take my token there, and I'll be out of the bid. But I have a ton in my hand, so I don't have to take the risk. I'll go ahead and place this down. And the other player is like, well, you know, I'm going to conserve my cards, so I'm going to be done. So they pass, and they'll get their token there. And then when we're all done, those cards get discarded. And we get to place out our piece based on where we went out in the bidding. So if I was first, I get to pick first. This would give me 5 points. And it will let me get one of these power cards. So let's say I'm going to take this one into my hand because I see that coming up, and that's going to be super valuable. So that's how those bidding actions work. Then we're going to go to this final location here, and this is supply. So we can pick, and this is friendly. Everyone can pick the same thing if they want, but you pick one of these and you get it. After that, we go to the new location here, and here we have a new risk like I showed before. We got other things, but the next thing we're going to go into is we're going to go into this bidding thing. Now this is the different form of bidding. So this one here is going to be a simultaneous bid. So we're not going to start with a leader and go round robin or anything, so you don't see the arrows there. Instead, we're going to take cards from our hand and secretly bid so much. So let's say, you know, I really want this, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, which is 4. And then we're going to flip them, and I'm going to show that I bid 4. Now, the person with the highest bid is going to get the first player one, or first selector one, and then so on and so forth. If there's ever any time a tie, this is the point where you actually look at the numbers on the top, and the higher number beats the ties. So there's not going to be ties for that, and that's how that works, and everyone's going to select what they want from that. And we're going to continue on. All these have different location things that happen in here, different drafts and all sorts of fun stuff. This one's going to have 3 of the traditional auctions and 2 of the simultaneous auctions until we get to this end board here. And this is where you can slough off some of your stuff here. Also will mention, just backtracking a little bit, there are places on the boards here that you can get rid of these annoyance tokens, but you really want to get rid of these by the end of the game, because again, you can lose a lot of points for having these guys out. But you can go in here and, like, I can spend 3 points or 3 of these green chips, because there's no change in this game. You have what you have, so there can be various points here to get rid of 2 annoyance ones. Then we can go into another silent auction here, and we can get new bonuses here. Or there's still a bad one there that you don't want, so you need to auction there. And then we can go in these other locations and convert some of our remaining resources into points here. So here you can spend 3 of these cards here. So these ones here. So if you have 3 of these cards, you can get 5 points. If you have at least 3 of these orange cards, you can have 3 points. If you have some of this suit, 3 of this suit, you can get some points. And then you can come down here and you can trade your wilds in. You can trade your tokens in for points. So if you've got a lot of tokens with chips on them, you can trade them in for points. You can trade at least 10 monetary value in for 15 points. And that's it. That's how you're going to basically play through this game. The guide here, the book instruction manual, has a really good guide on all these locations here, so you can, if you have any questions, you can go in here. But they're pretty intuitive in there, and that's how fast the game flows forward. And again, I want to mention one more time, you also have these really cool expansion boards there. So if you want a longer game with more bidding and more actions to take in, this, you want to put this in. And again, you're going to have an extra board here, so the amount of replayability in this game is really high, because these 3 locations here for the most part will be different each game. But in a nutshell, that's going to be how you set up EGO and the flow of the game itself here. So if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us get more content out to you all and all that fun stuff. But hopefully this gave you a jump start into playing the game. It's very simple to get into, but there's a ton of strategy in this game itself. So this is literally the introduction you just need to give for players, and you can jump right in. And like I said, if you have some of these locations, especially on your first game, you're going to probably look them up here in the book and just read them out to everyone. So your first game might be a little slower, but really these all start clicking because you're really just simple iconography that's very intuitive, and you know, you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. So that's it. Thank you for watching.